Welcome everybody to COVER1 Hoops. It is playoff time. The regular season is officially over. We'll get to some scores. We'll get to some playoff brackets. But first, I'm going to bring in my crew here. Guys, what's up?
How's it going, Matt?
Hey, we got a little thing here now. We got our super source working, so you can see all three of us now. It's a cool little way to we're still getting this thing learned out a little bit, but it's having a good week so far. James,
what's up? No,
I'm ready.
So yeah, I'm having a good week.
All right, man. It's playoffs.
We had a really good.
We got to smile. We got to have a little bit of fun, guys.
No, we had a really good game on Tuesday this week, so that kind of shaped some of the boys, playoffs, and now we're going into. I guess we got one more game, kind of figure out seeding, then we got boys playoffs next week. So.
Yep. So let's get right into it. The team that everybody around here has been talking about is the Wall Hawks. Usually we're talking about district champion Wall Hawks, but this year things landed a little bit differently. They got the second place, so they have the second seed. Chadwick, I will throw it to you first. What are we looking in this matchup? They're going to be playing Ingram Moore, but what should we expect from the Wall Hawks going into this playoffs?
Well, the Wall Hawks have really certainly improved the way they've been playing so far over the course of the season, rather. They kept getting stronger and stronger as the season went on, and all culminated in that matchup with TLCA that they lost by 1 point. If you remember in that first matchup, that TLCA won that one pretty easily by what, it was like 8-10 in that range. So Wall's playing really good basketball right now. Their defense is outstanding. They held TLCA, a team that scored over 100 points before, to under 50 again. So Ingram Moore didn't fare as well in their district as Wall did, and so I think that the Hawks got this one. They just got to continue to play their game.
James, you were there on what was it? Friday night when the district championship game over there at TLCA. Kind of talk to me about what was the vibe going on in there. I know it was loud, I know it was rowdy, but in direct towards Wall, what did you come out feeling like after that game?
No, I went to both TLCA Wall games this year, and at the first one in Wall, TLC just came out and put it on them. It never felt like Wall was ever truly found their groove. This game was a lot different. Wall came into this one hyper-focused, and it almost didn't even look like a high school game at the beginning of in that first half. Wall was on it. They were hitting shots. They were making all their shots. After halftime, TLCA, steadied their course and kept playing, and Wall kind of their shots weren't falling for them.
But they did. They led the game at one point.
They were leading for most of the game. Wall was up for most of the game, but he only scored 9 points in the third and fourth quarter. It might have been a little bit more than that. It wasn't much. They scored 24 points in the first half, and if they'd done that in the second half, they would have won. But TLCA just kept on them all night and played really good basketball all night. Both these programs are good programs. So I'm not shading either one.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was going to bring up. We've kind of been talking about this throughout the week, that there's a possibility we could see this matchup again when we're talking about later in that regional final. Is that what we're kind of expecting from these two teams of these calibers, Ryan?
I think that TLCA has the easiest road to that, but it actually looks like in the UIL brackets that TLCA's not going to be playing Wall. Wall would be matched up against Jim Ned later. They're on that side. So, if they were to play each other, it would either be in the state semis or the actual state final.
It would be awesome to see a state championship on the line against those two, especially the district championship being so good. As for Ingram Moore, what do we know about them?
Well, like I said before, they were pretty much a 500 team in their district this year. They got third place. They finished with a losing record at 10-11, I think. Yeah, 10-11 total on the year. So this is a team that has struggled on the offensive side of the ball. For stretches in the year that they've gone on a couple different losing streaks, but they were good enough to make it into the playoffs. And playoff basketball is a different kind of basketball, so anyone can win this game. The Central girls found that out the hard way on Monday.
So what are kind of the keys, if you could say, what are the keys of the game for Wall to make sure that they win this one?
Keep playing good defense. That's their biggest strength. It's what they've done all year, and you got to get Everson Armstrong going early. When he drives the paint, it opens up Ogden Hallmark for outside shots. It opens out the jump shot from Logan Thomas on the outside. Guys like I just blanked on his name, but they're a tall sophomore. He's like six. Yeah. Well, it's not Brylan, but it's a different one. Like Coach Dawson, I'm sorry.
There's a lot.
But
of them
yeah,
out there.
he's there. He comes in for Everson when Everson sits on the bench. But like anyway, he's their 6'4" sophomore. He plays really well on the inside too.
So now is just kind of the time where we got to get some scores. So scores and picks. James, I will start with you. What do we think?
I think Wall's going to take this one. I think it's going to be like a 63 to 52 games.
I think Wall comes out in this one a little more handedly. I do think they're going to win. I think they're going to win by probably around that 20-point margin. Their defense is really, really scary. I'm going to say 45-68, Chadwick.
I'm gonna pick a 10-point contest in this one as well. At this point in the year, in the first round, this is like one of the only rounds you're still gonna see blowouts. So I could definitely see your point there, Matt. But I'm gonna say a 10-point game. Let's just call it 55-45.
I suck at predicting scores.
Yeah, dude, basketball's so hard. Like football, we can do it. We can be like, oh yeah, 10-point game. 23-10, something like that.
The boys should easily put up, 60 points, and then against TLC, it's a 35 to 34 game.
Well,
It's a 1
just
point
think
game.
of the defense. I mean,
That's another thing. Wall's defense held TLCA, who can, put up points like nobody's business to 35 points, and that's impressive right there. So
exactly.
Let's see how well they can handle it.
Yeah. So one more time, guys, where's this game at, and when is it? So the guys out there know where to go.
Sonora. It's in Sonora at 6 o'clock on Tuesday.
All right. So
Tuesday, February 21st.
All right.
This
Make
next
sure
Tuesday.
you are there. In Sonora, it's going to be a double header. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but first we're going to jump around a little bit. We got the Miles Bulldogs. They made the playoffs. Going to be playing Coleman Blue Cats?
Yeah, the Blue Cats.
Blue Cats,
Yeah.
either way, yeah. So this is going to be a really good matchup. Ryan, what are you thinking about this one?
So both teams are tied for first place in their district right now at 9-1. It's kind of the similar situation that Central went through this week. They can't decide a winner. This one's for the 1 seed. They're going to share the district title, but they have to play each other one more time to determine who actually gets that 1 seed and who gets that 2 seed in the playoffs.
James, when you see these playing games, what kind of what are you thinking if you're an athlete? What is it, do or die, or because you're still in the playoffs, still gonna say I have a piece of that championship. But what kind of motivation do you think there is out there for those guys in these playing games when you automatically make the playoffs?
I think part of it, you look at who you have the opportunity of playing against. This district will play against either Sterling City or Forsan. Either Coleman or Miles match up against Sterling City or Forsan, and you just want that competitiveness. You never want to drop your intensity. You want to keep playing hard. And that Coach Butts out there at Miles, he coached our group when I was a senior at Cristobal, and I've watched him coach since. He's a very intense basketball coach, and their defense is big. So he wants to win. I'm telling you, he just wants to beat the crap out of all these guys. That's what he wants to do. I can tell you how many times I heard that. Let's just go beat him. That was his deal was defense. So I guarantee this is going to be. It was kind of chippy. The last game in Miles was kind of chippy between Coleman. It started, one of the Miles kids got fouled pretty hard, and one of his teammates ran down there and kind of, shoved the Coleman kid out of the way to pick his guy up, and then one of the Coleman kids threw an elbow walking by Aben Book, and it was kind of chippy, and the refs kind of let it get out of hand. Yeah. But
district championships on the line.
Yeah, this game will be. This game is going to be a good one. I thought maybe Ballinger at first, but it's going to be in Winners. And I think that's a true neutral site. I don't think either team has played there yet this year, or they played district there, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, either way,
yeah, I think
it's going to be at a complete neutral site where kind of in the middle over there between the two.
Right.
We talked to Coach Butts, and we'll get to that interview here in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. But you're right, James. One of the things he likes to do is defense. Chadwick, when you talk to Coach Butts, what would kind of express his love for the defensive game?
Well, like he's just more of a old school coach, right? And so like old school coaches tend to be a little bit harder on fundamentals. They want to be able to control both sides of the floor, and we just kind of got the sense from him that he's not really worried about how the offense looks. Yes, they're going to run their plays, they're going to try to get points, but the less, like several other Concho Valley defensive-minded coaches said, like Kent Sherrill, they're over there at TLCA, like if we hold them to nothing, eventually our offense will score enough points for us to win the game. And so that's the general sense I also got from Coach Butts. And like I said, he's coached all over the Concho Valley, and so he's had a lot of different experience with a lot of different coaching styles. But yeah, so like his defense is one that's not exactly easy to get around either. So
yeah, well, it was a really good interview, and it's going to be hard. I'm going to start the picks off. Unfortunately, he didn't sell me on it completely. I think the Coleman Blue Cats end up taking this one tonight. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, like he said, but I think that Coleman ends up coming out on top. I think it's going to be a 2-point victory for the Wildcats. I'm going to say, Blue Cats. I'm going to say it's going to be 45-43. James, need your pick.
I'm going to get texts about that later, Matt. No, I think Miles is going to win. I've known Coach Butts for a really long time. The first game was between Miles and Coleman was kind of decided on a last-second 2-point shot that after it was made for like 3 seconds, they stormed the court. Was there still time left? I don't know. Regardless, they won. And the second one, Miles handled them pretty well. And I think Miles knows what they got to do, and they're going to go out there and play really good, solid basketball. Coach, that
need to score.
Miles 55, Coleman 45.
All right, so pretty handily win there. Chadwick, what about you?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna agree with James on this one, but I think it's gonna be much closer. It's gonna be like the first game, but Miles actually comes out on top on this one. I'm gonna say 56-55 Miles.
So y'all are just gonna make me be the bad guy?
I mean, your fault, man. I just think that. Okay, so let's put it this way: Miles lost by 1 in the first game, won by like 20 in the second game, and you're gonna pick Coleman.
Yeah,
I'm going Miles.
This is a tree. Yeah, this isn't
like this isn't a homer pick over here.
No. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Mine's I have a lot of respect for Coach, and I've had nothing but respect for that guy. And I know he doesn't care about his pre-district record. Like he'll play 5, 6A teams. Like it doesn't matter to him. His big deal is iron sharpens iron, and they're just gonna those teams are meant to get you better. And then district rolls around, and you go off and win district every year. He's at Cristobal. They went to the playoffs. They were always. This last year at Cristobal, he won Coach of the Year. Everybody on his team won sort of postseason accolade: first team district, second team district, newcomer of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year. I mean, he's just a really good coach. Like
I'm just gonna twist the knife a little bit.
A ton of my respect.
Just gonna twist the knife a little bit. Maybe it was just that I was at that football game. Let's see, when was that?
Oh, so you're saying they're gonna choke? Okay.
Oh, maybe so. I guess we'll see.
That's the big thing Wilhelm's trying to institute is learning how to win games, and not just in football but in basketball. So,
yeah, we talked about that.
How to face adversity and everything.
And I can't say anything either. The Bobcats have let me down this week.
All right, we're gonna get to that interview here in just a second, but first I just need you guys to tell me where is this game at and when are they gonna be playing it.
So this game is tonight in Winners at 5 o'clock actually. So actually here pretty soon.
All right, so you've heard it here first. Go watch Miles take on Coleman. Winner takes home a district championship. They're both going to split it, but hey, bragging rights in a first seed do matter. So go check that one out. We're going to be right back after a quick word from Jim Bass, and then we will be with head coach of the Miles Bulldogs. And
Gerald Butts.
Yes, Gerald Butts. Yeah. And it was a really good one. All right, guys, let's go.
Truck Month. Truck Month. You've been asking for it, and it's finally here. It's Truck Month, and we have huge savings on all cars and trucks, including F-150s. Low interest rates which make for low payments, and the best selection we've seen in years. Don't wait. Hurry on down to Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
I'm here with head coach of the Miles Bulldogs, Gerald Butts. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. I'm very good. I want to take this opportunity to say that God is good, and I want to thank Him for this opportunity. I'm so blessed.
Well, Coach, and we love hearing that from you, and thanks so much for coming on. Got a big game coming up tomorrow night, and that's already have a share of that district title, but this game against Coleman will decide that first seed. How are the guys feeling? What are their overall thoughts going into this game?
We've had a great week, and like I say, we're full of confidence right now. This is a huge game, like you say. It's a tiebreaker, and of course that determines the number one seed going into playoffs, and that is big. I mean, as far as the way you enter the playoffs, and we've had good workouts. We've been on focus. We've been on task, and like I say, we're on a good roll right now, and we want to continue to do so.
Yeah, and Coach, how do you think this third time around is going to go? In that first game against Coleman, basically lost on a buzzer beater. The second time around, you pretty much dominated the Blue Cats out there. Really chippy game. The refs might have let things go a little bit, but in the end, y'all came away with a sound victory. So, do you expect more of the same in this third matchup?
I would hope it'd be that way, but you never know on this third game. Like I say, I look for it to be a great game, great atmosphere. The closest thing you can get to a playoff atmosphere as there is. And again, we're meeting in a neutral site, so again, it's going to be both teams going at it full speed and giving everything they got to get that number one seed. So it's going to be a good one.
Coach, moving into the playoffs, because y'all have made it no matter what at this point, whether it's the first seed or the second seed, how important is it to the guys right now that their rhythm isn't interrupted by having this Friday off?
We don't look at it like that. I mean, like I say, this is the first time in playoffs in a couple of years. So, it's going to be a good game, and a lot of teams schedule practice games and what have you to fill in for Friday. And as far as interrupting our rhythm, I mean, I think it would much better be playing than not playing, because it makes for a long week when you just play one game, and then you have to turn around and play Monday, or Tuesday after about 5 or 6 days off. It does, like you say, it breaks your rhythm. So we're good.
Well, Coach, I know it's going to be an exciting one tomorrow, but looking, if we can, just look ahead to next Monday or Tuesday, do you have any idea of what opponent that they all will be playing, where you're going to be playing at, anything you could tell the fans out here right now?
If we're fortunate enough to win, like I say, get that number one seed, we'll be playing Forsan in Robert Lee at 6 o'clock. Second seed, we're playing Sterling City at Robert Lee, I believe, at 6:30. I may need to double check on it. Maybe Bronx. I'm just, so many things have been happening lately.
Well, Coach, regardless of how it shakes out, I know we all wish you the best of luck. Let's go ahead and talk about you personally here real quick. You've coached all over the Concho Valley throughout your career. At your current stop right now in Miles, I know that another guy on our COVER1 team, James Bellini, said that you were one of his coaches at Cristobal. Is there a reason why you've kind of stuck around West Texas? Is that just where you belong, or just tell us a little bit about your coaching career?
Well, I guess you could say my base would be San Angelo, but you're right. I have moved around, and sometimes that goes with the territory as far as being a coach. I was with James, a few years ago at Cristobal. There were some good teams, and at Junction and Sonora, I just love the West Texas atmosphere and the environment, and it's just great. I mean, I've been in other places outside of West Texas, and it's just not the same. And like I say, the people in West Texas are great, and they really enjoy their sports, and whether it be football, basketball, and out here at Miles, I mean, like I say, we have a good following, and we're turning the program here, and the kids have bought in, and it's becoming, a great atmosphere out here too. So, like I say, we're doing well this year, and we want to continue to do so. We want to make a deep run in the playoffs, and right now everybody's on board. Everybody's 100%. The kids are focused, and they bought in, and good things are happening.
And Coach, I know it's got to feel good when not only the players buy into the program, but you feel like you have the community behind you. I was speaking to Coach Otho out at Cristobal, and he kind of expressed the same kind of sentiment that you did right there. But talking about these players who did buy in, pick a couple guys that are just really the heart and soul of this team that really bought in and really work hard and really make the Miles Bulldogs what they are.
Well, we got Haven Book. He's a junior, and like I say, he's good at what he does, but every game, he puts it on another level. And we have Carson Ellison, a senior, and we have Shelton Petrie, a senior. And Shelton's done a tremendous job for us this year, and it's good. And he struggled a little bit last year, but I think these seniors realize that this is it, and they realize that they have something that they can accomplish that no other team has here in Miles, and they see that before them, and they know that every practice, could be their last practice, every game, every possession, and I think they have that mindset right now. And when they think that way, they put extra effort in because they want it to continue.
Well, Coach, I know that Miles really hasn't been in a position like this since I was back in high school, back in 08, 09 area, so it's a real special opportunity that is in front of these guys right now. And is there anything that because of this attitude and this opportunity and where this team can go, does that affect how you treat the guys right now, or does it affect your coaching style at all?
No, not really. I'm trying to get the message through to them that playoffs is a different atmosphere, and there's really nothing like it as far as that playoff environment. And I know that you were in virgin territory, uncharted waters, stuff like this, but we continue on. They'll see, and there'll be more incentive for them to play another game, second round, third round, or whatever. I know I'm looking a little bit ahead now, but I think that they will. Experience this. They got a taste of it in football because we made the playoffs, and so again, it's just them, and I think they realize what's at stake for them. And as far as the way I treat them, no, I don't change much. We've lightened up a little bit. We don't do the same drills that we used to. As far as, and a program had to be put in place here. And, I realized that some of these seniors have, it was kind of challenging for them as far as experiencing a new coach and everything. But I think they've slowly bought in. They realize that, this system works. And, I try to be as fair as I can with the players, and whether it be discipline or, rewarding or whatever. And I've always based my philosophy on that. And, so far so good.
Glad to hear it, Coach. And we're just going to have one final question here for you now. It's just a little bit more on the lighter, fun side. I always ask these head coaches that come on to our show who their favorite player was growing up. So I've heard a lot of Michael Jordans and Dirk Nowitzki's, and most recently a Kobe Bryant. But Coach, who did you emulate growing up when you were a big fan of basketball?
Well, it would be Jordan. It would be Michael Jordan. I've watched that guy throughout the age, and like I say, he did things that were spectacular. They're extraordinary. He was on another level. He was off the charts.
Yeah, hey, he's considered the greatest of all time for a reason, right? And it's a two-parter here. What about a coaching style? Is there any coach that you looked up to and you wanted to say, this is how I want to coach?
Well, there's a coach at Miami now. It's Jim Larinaga, and I followed him. He's a college coach, but he was at George Mason, and I've gotten some books off of him, read books, and like I say, he's a strong man. Even away from basketball, and coaching is one thing, but away from basketball is another. And that's what I kind of look into as far as coaching. And he is one that I admire and I look up to, and not many people name him, but Larinaga, I really like him, Jim Larinaga at Miami. He's doing some good things down there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach, for all the answers you gave us, and for even coming on this show. If you could go ahead and just announce the game time and location for tomorrow's game for the fans out there. Okay,
it's at Winners at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So you heard it from Coach.
I stand corrected. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay, so you all heard it from Coach Butts. It's going to be Miles versus Coleman for that first seed in Winners at 5 o'clock. Go out and see him if you are able to. And again, Coach, thanks so much. We'll be extending our coverage into the playoffs. So hey, if y'all make it far enough, you're going to be hearing from us again to get you back on here.
I hope so. That would be good.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Truck Month, Truck Month, Truck Month. You've been asking for it, and it's finally here. It's Truck Month, and we have huge savings on all cars and trucks, including F-150s. Low interest rates which make for low payments, and the best selection we've seen in years. Don't wait. Hurry on down to Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
All right, we're back. That was just as easy as could be, and look at that. Ryan even changed clothes. Just kidding. But seriously, Chadwick, what'd you think about that interview, and what'd you think of Coach Butts?
Well, like I said in the previous segment, Coach Butts is just an old school coach. He reminds me of some of my own older coaches when I was over there at Central. Shout out to Coach Carter out there if you ever watched my show. But it was one of those where like you could tell how much he cares about his kids. You could tell how much he cares about the program, and he knows his stuff. Like any question I asked, he had an immediate answer for, and he wasn't exactly long-winded because, again, old school there, but it was definitely someone who knew what they were talking about. So I was very impressed with that interview by Coach Butts. So again, Coach, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, and what'd you think about the coaching show? Interesting.
It definitely is a little bit like out of the norm, let's say. So,
but that's how you find the
good. That is very true. Really good ones. That's but I don't hate the pick at all, and yeah, I mean, Coach is entitled to his own opinion,
Exactly. So let's go ahead and get back into the action, though. We talked a little bit about Wall, but now let's talk about the real big dogs, the TLCA Eagles, the district champions of that district. They're going to be taking on Brady. Guys, what are we thinking about this matchup? James, I will go ahead and start with you.
I said it before. It doesn't matter. Badgers,
Bearcats.
Badgers, Bearcats, or Bulldogs. It doesn't matter. TLCA by 50. They're just that good of a basketball team. And Coach Gerald sure is excited for his team, man. We talked to him earlier in the week, and he's just. He's a really good guy, a really good coach. He's super excited for his team, and TLCA is getting put on the map. You got to start paying attention to this team in San Angelo now.
Yep, back-to-back district champions. That's pretty crazy when you have teams like Wall and Jim Ned in the same district. Ryan, what are you thinking about this game, though, specifically? They got to go take on Brady. Brady, they finished 4th place in their district, but, you just like you said, it's basketball. All you need is one ball to fall in.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you just have to keep that game close, and a buzzer beater will do it for you, But sad to say, Brady Bulldogs I don't think that they are on the same level as TLCA this year. TLCA is a team that was not only beating 4A teams, but also beating 5A teams. I think that the biggest team they beat this year was Lubbock Cooper, so like that's not exactly a slouch school at all. They played the Bobcats well as in the tournament here in San Angelo. So like I said, the TLCA has too good of an offense, too good of a defense. They're too well coached. Like I'm not saying that all TLCA has to do is show up, but like if they show up and they play like that, they know they can. I can see this one getting out of hand. I can see the Eagles winning by like 30 points.
But, I will say this. We were talking maybe 2 weeks ago about a TLCA team that should just walk all over everybody, win the district championship, and move on to the playoffs. No big deal. Now, that did end up happening, but that did not happen without a little bumps in the road, right? They had to play Clyde. They lost to Clyde. James, you say, what did you say? Can you go ahead and give me what did you say?
Badgers, Bearcats, or Bulldogs, Eagles by 50.
What is Clyde? Clyde is the
Bulldogs.
And so, unfortunately, you're saying maybe a little flawed, so you got to watch out and you got to take this serious because Brady Bulldogs, you never know, they could make something happen if you don't take it serious. James, you spoke to Gerald on Live Daily News a couple of days ago, and he even said it himself. We just didn't take care of business. We went down there and we got our butts whooped. And
I know he said the same thing about Jim Ned. He said that wasn't the case. The deal with his players being out, he said they just didn't.
They didn't take care of business.
Yeah, so that can absolutely happen when you go into games and maybe you're a little overconfident or maybe you underestimate your opponent a little bit. So you've got to keep your guys at that same level of intensity the entire game that you can go out and win. And look, Wall was up on him. Wall was up on him almost the entire game, and it took.
I mean, I don't want to say they're hobbling into the playoffs.
No, because they're not.
But in a way, they do have tendencies to let things kind of slip and slide, which can be scary if you're trying to project yourself on a really deep run into the playoffs.
And I think every team can do that. I think every team has that ability to overestimate or underestimate their opponent a little bit, and then all of a sudden, they're up by 10, and you have to decide to kick it in gear. Can it be too late when you kick it into gear? So you've got to go into every game with that same level of intensity and that same level of, preparedness that, hey, we're going to handle these guys and we're not taking our foot off the gas the entire time.
Absolutely. So I need some picks, though, guys. I think we're probably going to be all on the same page, but I do need that. So, Ryan, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Shout out to Coach Cheryl, and the TLCA Eagles are going to move on to the second round pretty easily in this one, 81-42.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as you. I was going to say about 30 points. I'm going to say they're going to hold them under 40, so maybe 37-69, about right around there. James?
I'm going to say like 67 to 55 or something. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I think Brady might go watch that Wall game to say, hey, maybe if we play, extremely good defense, maybe we can get a drop on these guys. But obviously, TLCA I think is going to just run with it.
That's my homer pick. I'm picking Eagles.
TLCA,
by 100,
you're picking TLCA till it's still a state title.
Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles by 100, man. Keep
right.
rolling, keep rolling.
And they're getting me a shirt, so I can absolutely be bought.
Oh yeah, hey,
so,
yeah. Shout out Coach Gerald getting James a
Shout out
shirt.
to Coach Gerald giving me.
Note, if you want to be
my
good,
pick,
get
me a shirt.
Yeah, hey,
Start handing out
Contra Valley
merchandise.
teams out there.
I can be bought.
We're open to bribes.
There you go. So, guys, go ahead and let the guys, the folks out there know where exactly is this game, when it is.
Okay, so this game is going to be part of that doubleheader that we were mentioning earlier. It is going to be in Sonora on Tuesday, February 21st, immediately following the Wall Ingram Moore game.
All right, perfect. So that's going to be a pretty good doubleheader there. Maybe one of the best doubleheaders you can find in the state of Texas. You're going to get to see the Wall Hawks and the TLCA Eagles play. They may be blowouts. They may be close. I don't know. I think maybe a little bit of both. We will find out, though, that's for sure. And moving on to our next part of our show, we're not really gonna talk about a specific team. We're gonna kind of talk about playoff matchups in general and as a whole. And because of that, we're gonna start with the Central Bobcats. Chadwick, I'm gonna jump straight to you because you know all about this. You know exactly what's going down. So where are we with a Central Bobcat playoff seed?
Okay, so the Central Bobcats were in a three-way tie for third place with Odessa Permian and Midland High as of yesterday. Central did not get it done against Odessa High at home on Tuesday, so they lost that second seed. That forced them to do this play-in this weekend in Stanton. And so last night, the Bobcats played Odessa Permian again for the fourth game in a row, lost in the last 10 seconds, 68-66 to the Panthers, which basically took their own destiny out of their hands. Now, the Bobcats have to hope Permian beats the Bulldogs, Midland High Bulldogs, tonight in Stanton for a chance for the Bobcats to play Midland High tomorrow. If Permian loses tonight and Midland High wins, then Midland High gets the third seed, Odessa Permian gets the fourth seed, and the Bobcats season is unfortunately done.
That would be something. I mean, I couldn't. When we started this, last week we were talking about the Bobcats having a second seed, or 2 weeks ago we're talking about the Bobcats winning the district championship possibly, and now, man, they could just be out like that.
It's unfortunate, and it's not exactly anything that they've been doing severely wrong. It's roles throughout the game. It's that overall game flow. Against Odessa High, they started slow type thing, but
free throws.
Yeah, in the end though, especially last night, free throws really killed the Bobcats.
Yep.
They fell behind and they couldn't keep pace. It wasn't even that they were winning. They could have put the game away and they just didn't make their free throws.
They had a really up and down season. I felt like the beginning of district, they were they've dropped 3 games in district, and they beat all the teams they lost to in district, and now I could see Permian losing just to spite Central, to be honest with you.
Right? Yeah, and the Bobcats were the only team that beat Friendship in district this year, and Friendship is sitting at number 22 in the state right now. So
it's gonna be pretty crazy. So just kind of. Here's the question. I'm not going to ask who's going to win, here's what I'm going to ask, and I'll start with you, James. James, do you think the Central Bobcats make the playoffs?
Oh, goodness. I don't, man. Maybe if they do, I think they'll be a first-round exit. But like I said, I think the hate is there from Permian, where they'd be like, you know what? Let's not get anybody hurt. We'll just go in how we go in, and we're gonna just to spite Central, they'll go in as the fourth. That's what I could see happening.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I've heard this Ryan Chadwick guy talk about Permian in the past, so
that's very true.
Needless
His
to
words
say,
may come back to bite him.
Needless to say, I hated last night. I was miserable at the end. I was just like, this is the worst.
They've just been way too up and down this season.
Yeah,
honestly,
and it's bad turnovers too. There was multiple times where the Bobcats had several empty possessions to where they were just going too fast, or they made a bad pass, or they tried to rush their plays that they were doing, and it's just stuff that when the Bobcats had the lead, if they would have just slowed everything down, then the Permian wouldn't have had enough time to actually come back and beat them like that. So Permian is bigger than the Bobcats, which is crazy to think about considering Colin Albright's 6'9", but Permian actually is bigger than the Bobcats, and they're also a little bit bigger than Midland High overall. Midland High kind of depends on their shooters a little bit more, so I do think Permian is the better team in this matchup, but we'll see what let's see how bad they want that third seed.
So my question is, though, Chadwick, the Bobcats make the playoffs?
If Permian wins tonight, yes, I think the Bobcats are going to finally put it together against Midland High. I don't think that they'll waste their last gasp on Saturday.
My only thing is, and we talked about this earlier, Chadwick, so you're already going to know my answer, but I do not think that the Bobcats are going to get in the playoffs, and it's just because it's kind of like a picture into what their whole season kind of was. They've been kind of on this edge of oh, are we going to make it, and always fall off the edge. And I feel like just because this playoff play-in games are happening, it's going to be too much for them. We saw it. It was right there. All we had to do was win. Couldn't get it done. And I think probably what we're going to be seeing on Saturday, I hate that. I love the Bobcats to play. I love it for the content of the show. But unfortunately, I just don't think that it's going to happen. So,
I definitely see where you're coming from on this, but at the end of the day, I know how good this team is when they actually play together and take care of the take care of the basketball, and they're on they're playing Coach V's defense, So
that is true. I mean, that they're really good. There's another 3 teams though that are also kind of in a playoff seeding kind of matchup, and that would be Cristobal, Reagan County, and Sterling City. So just kind of explain that one to me if you can, Ryan. Go explain, what are we playing for?
So in that district is actually already decided. Reagan County got first place. Went perfect the entire district season. Congratulations to the guys out there in Big Lake. And Cristobal got second place, and Sterling City unfortunately lost their season's finale, so they got fourth. But
third. Sterling City got third.
Third, my bad, third. Forsan got fourth, yeah. But this team plays the Miles district and the Miles-Coleman district in the first round of the playoffs. So what they're waiting on is the same thing that Miles and Coleman are waiting on. They're trying to see who's going to have that first and second seed, so the UIL can actually set the bracket. So they're kind of just sitting on their hands as well, waiting to find out the result of that game tonight.
I will say, after the interview with Coach Butts, he gave me a call and he said he appreciated the thinking about it and everything. He did say he wants to play four, so of course that means Miles would
get the 1 seed.
Would be the 1 seed, and that's what he wants over anything. But he said he'd rather play Forsan.
What? He don't want Sterling City again in the first round of the playoffs?
That would be something.
Why not?
That would be something, wouldn't it?
I'm telling y'all, things happen like this for a reason. So, anyways, that's kind of just a little bit of our playoff seedings and playoff matchups that are going to be going on, of course, tonight and then into early next week.
Oh, let's give a shout out to Erie County too, real quick, James.
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead, James.
Yeah, no, their girls play tonight, right?
No, but when do the guys play? I just want do we have their playoff matchup yet?
Oh, I don't think we do we?
No, I think we're maybe still waiting on games for that.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make it a point, Coach Koffel.
My bad.
Yeah.
Paint Rock.
Right.
Paint
yeah.
Rock.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's right. They play Paint Rock on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So congratulations to the Erie County Hornets again.
They're ranked too.
Yeah. Won their district in the top 10 in 1A. Go get yourselves a deep playoff run.
Perfect. Okay. Well, there's a little bit of the extra little spice there. You can go watch Paint Rock versus where is that going to be at? Erie County versus Paint Rock's where? I would guess that would probably be here in St. Angelo.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be either at the Janelle Center or at Lakeview. That's where Erie County's been playing some of their playoff games so far. So.
All right. Well, either way, it should be a good matchup.
We'll find this out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here, I'll stall. No, but this has been kind of our little playoff matchups. We're going to get into our speed round here in just a second. First, we're going to go to an ad by Jim Bass Ford, and when we come back, we will have we'll get that answer for you.
Truck Month, Truck Month, Truck Month. You've been asking for it, and it's finally here. It's Truck Month, and we have huge savings on all cars and trucks, including F-150s. Low interest rates which make for low payments, and the best selection we've seen in years. Don't wait. Hurry on down to Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Okay, the Erie County Hornets play the Paint Rock Indians at the Janelle Center on Monday at 6 o'clock.
All right, there we go. We picked up all our dirty work from the last segment. So Now it's time for a little bit of the speed round. And for that, we're going to start with Ryan. So, Ryan, let's get it going.
Okay, so the Wall Lady Hawks played Holiday in the second round of the playoffs last night in where do they play? I don't remember.
Anson.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
So yeah,
Played in Anson.
Those are the
played
speed rounds.
Played
So
Holiday
many-
in Anson. Lady Hawks led for the majority of the game, but only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter. Holiday beat the Lady Hawks in this one 46-33. Congratulations on a wonderful season, Wall, but like that's just the way it rolls sometimes. Playoff seedings matter, so if you don't win district, sometimes this happens.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to go to El Dorado versus New Home. The Lady Eagles play New Home tonight in Snyder at 6 o'clock. New Home is a top 5 team in the state, so these Lady Eagles have their work cut out for them, but if you saw what they did last Tuesday at the Janelle Center, you know that this team is really tough to beat. So go Eagles, or I guess go Lady Eagles, I should say.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Christoval. Christoval beat Wink last night, 56-46. They're awaiting whoever wins the New Home El Dorado game. El Dorado's actually in Cristoval's district, so that would be a pretty good match. They have a player on their team, Robbie Martinez. I think she put up 32 points against Miles in the bi-district round, so we're waiting on that one.
All right, and next we got Very Best versus Buena Vista. The Very Best girls won district in their same district as Erie County, of course. Number 1A team in the state. Buena Vista is no slouch, but I think Very Best takes this one pretty easily.
And the Ballinger Lady Cats they defeated City View and Haskell on last night. It was a 10-point ball game, 56-46. And this victory is going to set up a district matchup in the regional quarterfinal against the Jim Ned Lady Indians. And as we know, they are a very good team, so this one should be interesting.
For the girls' side of Erie County, they play Rankin tonight at Lakeview here in San Angelo at 6 o'clock. And yeah, this is going to be a good one. The Hornets should take this one pretty good.
All right.
I believe.
All right, there we go. Well, that's a little bit of our speed round here, guys. I'm going to go hit us one more time with little final thoughts. Chadwick, we'll start with you. Final thoughts.
I just want to give a shout out to the San Angelo Central Lady Cats this week. Completely heartbreaking loss in Fort Stockton against El Paso Pebble Hills on Monday. Pebble Hills tied the game in regulation on a buzzer beater, and then of course beat the Lady Cats in overtime on a buzzer beater. Y'all did everything right all game, and then like was just one of those freak shots, miracles like happened to y'all, and like just take this experience for what it is. Learn from it, grow from it, hold on to that pain. It'll just make you a better athlete and just like a stronger person moving forward. But yeah, congratulations on a great season. No one picked y'all to do anything this year, so that's it for me.
James?
We are going to be doing our all Cover 1 teams for boys and girls. So Coach McSherry, Coach Barnes, I know y'all seasons are over with, and y'all had a great run this year. But hey, James at SanAngeloLive.com, get me your stats, and we will, we're going to try to get y'all some special, special stuff for their seasons. They deserve it,
Yeah, I think the most interesting, for my final thought, I would say the most interesting matchup is going to be is if I hope that the El Dorado boys can win. So that way,
Girls?
the El Dorado girls can win. So that way we see that Lady Cougar versus Lady Eagle matchup. That is always
Battle of 277.
Always. I know, it's just the Battle of 277 is just that. It's a beautiful thing. So guys, this has been Cover 1 Hoops. We're here every Friday. We're going to bring you a coach interview. We're going to talk about what's going on. Remember, keep with us as the playoffs run, because we're gonna have to break it down all of it all the way until we get to the Alamo Dome for the state championships. And of course, be looking for the write-ups after the games, because we'll be there. So you might as well read it on SanAngeloLive.com. For me and James and Ryan and everyone else here at San Angelo Live, we will see you guys next week.